Hey, folks, we are back. It's Inside Real Estate with Mike Kruizinga here, your host and local DFW area realtor. Time for a home improvement and flooring segment with our favorite friend in flooring over at Ideal Floors, website idealfloors.com. Owner Kevin Hamus and his cell phone number 214-789-0422. What owner of any other company gives you his cell phone number? There it is right there, 214-789-0422. And so we're going to talk about rentals today because we've got a lot of investors and a lot of new investors that are, maybe they just own their home and they're starting to invest in real estate. And, they always want to watch their costs and what's the best strategy, because often you have to replace flooring when a renter, vacates. And so what's the best strategy for handling the rental in that sense? And so we're going to get into that. And Kevin, how are we doing today?
Doing well. Doing really well. Just another day, another dollar.
Another day, another penny, hopefully we make,
penny, yeah, really.
Since it seems like we always work for free in this industry.
Yeah.
But, well, let's talk about that. And what is the best strategy? I know, you're an investor as well. I am too. And so we're always trying to do the best thing, not only take care of our renters, but we also, want to watch our bottom line and, try to make a little dollar here and there too. So.
Oh yeah, in rentals, as everybody knows, it's your expenses that can kill you on a rental.
Right.
So what you want to try and do is keep your expenses down as much as possible, and one way is to put in the right flooring into the house.
Right.
I bought my first house in 1981, so I've actually done this for 35 years. So I'm not only a flooring guy, like you said before, I am an investor.
So you know a little something about it.
I know a little bit. I've done buy and hold. I've done buy and flip. I've done pretty much most everything. So
right.
Just haven't got into apartments. That's about the only thing. Anyway.
That's a whole nother beast.
Yeah, that's a whole nother beast. Well, first of all, a lot probably depends on where your property's at.
Sure.
Is it in a low income area, where you have to, if you're replacing carpeting, like every tenant or every other tenant. If you feel like you can only afford carpet, there's carpet out there now that's called, it's a solution dyed polyester carpet. And what that is, it's carpet that the color of the yarn is made in the yarn when it's manufactured. So, and it's basically made out of oil. So it's plastic and it's pretty much impossible to stain.
Okay.
So, in lower rental units, you end up, the carpet ends up getting ruined before it actually wears out. So, if you put this carpet in, it's got, you can put bleach on it, fingernail polish remover, coffee, Kool-Aid. None of that will affect the color of the carpet. So you can always get that out.
Okay.
You'll still have soiling, but that can clean out, eventually.
Is this a really good product, for pets?
Not necessarily for pets. I mean, from pets from the standpoint of it may not stain the carpet,
mm-hmm.
but as far as pets from, the urine and any other thing like that, I mean, no carpet's going to resolve that.
Hold up to that.
The best thing you can do with pets is not rent a pets.
Exactly.
But the other problem, most pets that are the problem are pets you didn't rent to.
Right.
They were brought in after you rented the property.
Exactly. And you just don't know about it.
Right. But that's definitely one thing that can ruin carpet very easily.
Sure.
So a lot of investors today are going with a new product called vinyl plank. It's a wood looking plank. It's most of them are 6 inches wide, 36 inches long. And when you put it down, it looks really, really good. The great thing about vinyl plank is because it's made of all vinyl, it's water resistant. You can't damage it with water.
Right.
Carpet can be ruined with water. Laminate can be swollen with water. Wood can be ruined with water. But the one thing about vinyl plank, it's all vinyl, so water can't affect it. So a lot of people, in fact, the majority of investors today are going to vinyl plank in their lower income rental units. And when I say lower income, I really mean like they're putting it in probably $150,000 down.
Right.
They're putting in vinyl plank. So that way, once it'll generally initially cost you maybe about double what carpet would, but it's going to last a long time. and it's very difficult to ruin. So,
yeah. Whereas, if you've got, and most of the time people are renting and they're staying in the property for a couple, 2-3 years, especially because it's hard to find anything good. But, when you do have somebody leaving every 1 or 2 years, and more than likely you will replace the carpet if you were using carpet. And a lot of people like to go with carpet because it is cheaper than anything else. But like you're saying, if you go with the vinyl planks, maybe you can go 3 or 4 renters with that.
right.
Or even longer.
Yeah.
Because like you say, you can almost just bring the hose in and wash it down.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
It's water resistant.
Well, and the other thing is that, and speaking to the choir here, but the number one thing you can do with rental units is rent to the right person.
Right.
You can have some people that'll be there forever, and it really doesn't matter what you put in. You'll have some people that'll move in. You think they're going to be great, and they end up just destroying the place.
Trashing it. Yeah.
So, but if you have a decent renter, vinyl plank is going to last a long time. Even though carpet may do okay, vinyl plank's going to do a lot better.
A lot better. Yeah.
So,
Well, and honestly, it looks good. The product has come so far. It really is a great looking product, actually.
It is.
In so many cases, it almost, looks a lot better than a lot of the laminate woods.
right.
Except for hardwood. Nothing's going to look
Right.
that good. But it's a really nice looking product.
And if you get into the higher end rental properties, 150, 200,000 or higher, probably going with a laminate, if it's going to be a rental.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to sell the house, you might want to go with an engineered, but if you're going to rent it, you might want to go with a laminate, just because laminate is so much more durable than engineered, because it's a very hard product. It has a very hard surface, so it's very difficult to damage.
Mm-hmm.
It can be scratched, but it's very difficult to be scratched. But wood is a natural product, so you can stain it, you can scratch it, you can damage it. So more of a prestigious product, but if you're looking at rental, you really probably don't ever want to go in with wood unless you're into a super high end that really just pretty much demands that you put wood in.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Just different type of clientele. With the vinyl, so let's say they got a big dog, maybe you don't have to worry about them scratching that particular type of product.
Right. You really don't. The only thing that there are different qualities of vinyl plank. The cheapest or the least expensive vinyl plank is made of a recycled material, and it just has a PVC finish on top. That can be scratched. Easier than a pure product, virgin product. And if it has a polyurethane finish on it, because it's a lot harder.
Okay.
So if I would recommend going with a little bit higher grade if you're going to be having this property for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So then it would just even last longer.
Yeah. Let me just a question off of flooring for a second, just for investors. What is your strategy as far as the security deposit and a pet deposit? Obviously, as landlords, maybe we don't want renters that have pets. Because they just do damage to not only flooring, but the walls and to just anything and everything, particularly cats, because they can get into everything.
Right.
But, so many times a renter will just not tell you, and you find out when they move out, or maybe at an inspection at some point along the way. Should we just assume they're lying and charge them the pet deposit, or increase the security deposit to manage that? What's your strategy with that?
Well, I think, if you can increase the security deposit, that would be great but again, the market's going to tell you what you can do. If you're competing with somebody down the street that, it's first month rent and half of the month deposit or month deposit, that's one thing. And if you're trying to get 2 months deposit, may be difficult to rent that.
Right.
The other thing is, it's almost like it's impossible to charge a pet deposit if they don't have a pet.
Yeah.
Say we're going to charge you this deposit in case you get a pet, right? So, it's just
a liar's deposit.
Yeah, really.
You're going to lie to me. You probably smoke and you probably have a pet.
Right. And we just don't trust you, so we want more money.
Exactly. So, well, with the rent demand being the way it is, and rental properties even starting to be in high demand, it's something for the landlords to think about out there, that they may be a little bit getting into a little bit more of the driver's seat, kind of like the sellers are a little bit more in the driver's seat with our sellers market, and maybe think about that a little bit more, with their renters. And of course, choosing the right renter is the big thing, but anybody can snowball you for sure.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about that.
Well, let's get back into the products a little bit more.
The one other thing I want to cover is there's grays are coming in again. Gray is like the new neutral.
Sure.
So we have an apartment complex that, they put gray vinyl plank in their living areas. They put gray carpet, a gray tone carpet in their bedrooms, and then they paint their walls light gray, and then they trim it out in white. And it just looks amazing.
Yeah.
So, if you're possibly thinking about being more contemporary, if you went that way, because, again, it's like you're almost like upscale, you're staying up with times, and you're being more modern. So, you may consider that also when it comes to, doing a rental property.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we always, have been kind of taught over the years, kind of beiges, the very neutral colors. But you're right, the grays is a great neutral as well, whether it's, in flooring or paint, etc. Seen a lot of that. And of course, just beige, white, and gray.
Right.
Absolutely.
And also a lot of people are, the step up from all of this is really ceramic. A lot of, people may put ceramic in their kitchens or in their bathrooms. But ceramic is like the most expensive.
Yeah.
Just because of the labor intensity that's involved in ceramic. But that's another option. Ceramic, once you get it in, is pretty much indestructible.
Okay.
So
for the landlords out there, they really need to be thinking, I think a lot of them, especially the older ones, are just thinking, okay, just put in that cheap carpet again, put it in again. But they really need to start be starting to think about that vinyl product, because it's going to be good for them, and they're not going to have to repeat this process every single renter.
Right, and that's just it. It's the probably the question to ask yourself is how long I'm going to own this.
Yeah.
If I'm going to own this for 5 years, you might just go in with the carpet, and then when you get done, time to sell it, you go in and replace the flooring, and then you sell it. Mm-hmm. And if you plan on, I was talking to a lady last night, she plans on having the property for the rest of her life. Well, now you need to think, okay, what should I put in that'll last the rest of my life, so you don't have to do it. So,
yeah,
she's talking about, putting in vinyl plank.
Sure.
So a lot of it is how long you're going to own it and everything.
Okay. Well, and folks out there, if you're a landlord out there or thinking about investing at all, of course, the nice thing about talking to Kevin is he's got some advice for you, and because he's been a long-time landlord, but also he can take care of all of your flooring needs, of course. And phone number 214-789-0422, website idealfloors.com. And of course, he's also got 5 showrooms here in the Metroplex, over 3.5 million square feet in stock. So it's always a great idea to just, stop on by one of the showroom floors and take a look at it live and in person. Of course, your sales staff can always come by their place as well.
Yes, we can.
And show them product as well. So, I think that about wraps up the rentals section.
Yeah.
And
that covers pretty much most of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, another good segment, folks, with Kevin Hamus, owner of Ideal Floors. Folks, Inside Real Estate, folks, will be back in a few.